not gonna mention any names, just to roughly touch on all those guys. Are you guys like starting to go to a place where it's like we're good? You know, we tried to call you all out on the come up.
Yeah,
we're
good.
here now.
We're really good because we're available now. So call that other. I'm wanting to see who gonna mention Tank other than us. Tank. Where you at, Tank? Because now, guess what? Tank.
At 140.
Yeah. Stop me from saying his name. Punch me in the mouth because I'm gonna keep on saying Tank.
Bill Haney publicly challenged Gervonta Davis by presenting the fight contract for a matchup with Devin Haney, making it clear that it was time to sign the agreement and prove everything inside the ring instead of continuing to talk about it.
Well, if he does fight Devin, he might get a chance to get a real Mercedes in that driveway instead of acting like you know what these guys are doing? They're doing a whole bunch of acting. You're acting like you're going down there to get the Mercedes based on what Tank did. You know, I got a real one over here, right over there, Brian. It's not too far that Devin paid for it. So Tank, I want him to come back. I want him to come back to boxing, and hopefully that Mercedes can come to your driveway, Calvin Ford.
This is where the Devin Haney versus Tank Davis situation starts feeling more serious than just social media shots. Bill is no longer only responding to insults or defending Devin online. He is putting the pressure directly on Tank, making it sound like the paperwork is there, and the only thing left is for Gervonta to prove he really wants the fight. After all the back and forth about money, weight, control, and who is scared, Bill's warning turns the whole debate into one question. If Tank is really ready, why not sign?
That Team Haney and Team Tank have that ultimately can't be settled in any other place other than the ring. You know, so it's out of respect for the people. It's out of respect for the team Tank, what they've accomplished and what they've done. That we continually ask and demand that fight.
Gervonta Davis fired back at Devin Haney and made it clear that he does not believe Devin has the right to set the terms of the fight. Tank said that if Devin wants the biggest payday of his career, then he has to follow his conditions because he is not the one in control. His comments turned the contract discussion into a battle over who has the real leverage, with Tank arguing that Devin cannot act like the A-side while asking for the biggest purse of his career. Bill Haney quickly responded by turning the money argument back on Tank, saying that this would also be Tank's biggest payday and that both sides should simply stick to the agreement they had already discussed. Bill made it clear that he was not going to let Tank push the idea that only Devin needed the fight, insisting that the matchup would benefit both fighters equally. Tank answered with more heated words, warning Bill that he would get smacked too, and adding another personal insult, but Bill refused to back down and continued to present the fight as something that is not only important for Devin, but something the entire boxing world wants to see.
To say that you want Tank.
Safe to say that we're available. You know what I mean? And listen, I don't want to get it misconstrued by saying I want Tank, because then they think something else. You know what I'm saying? We're available. You know what I mean? We're available to make the biggest and best fights happen. And guess what? If they ain't got the money, then we got it. You know what I'm saying?
Has that fight?
We got the money. Didn't you just hear that Eddie say that we pay, the opponent makes the most money with us. So it can be 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 100 million. You're going to make the biggest money.
Bill Haney's message is straightforward. If Gervonta Davis is truly the star, the dangerous fighter, and the opponent many believe Devin Haney cannot beat, then there is no reason to keep delaying the fight. Bill is applying the pressure by saying the matchup is big enough, the money is already on the table, and the fans are ready to see it happen. At this point, the focus is no longer on who talks the most, but on who is willing to sign the contract and make the fight a reality.
Boxing can't go across the street, can't go across the country, can't travel and fly and all that, right? How you gonna be the face of boxing and you can only fight in the United States? Come on, man, don't down him, crown him, man. Devin made all the right moves inside the ring and outside the ring.
Bill Haney's comments have added even more intensity to the situation because he is not acting like Gervonta Davis is an untouchable opponent. Instead, he is treating him as Devin Haney's next challenge. If both camps already understand how massive this fight could be, then 2026 may finally be the year when all the talk ends and the two stars meet in the ring for one of boxing's biggest events.
Tank Davis, we didn't leave nobody out. Of course, you got Conor Ben, you got Ryan Garcia, in no particular order. You have, Brian Norman was on the list when everybody had witnessed him knock a man into unconscious.
Bill Haney then revealed the list of opponents Devin Haney wants to face next, and the order of those names sent a strong message. He made it clear that Devin is not interested in easy fights or low-risk matchups, but is chasing the biggest names in boxing, the kind of fights that bring pressure, attention, and strengthen a fighter's legacy. At the top of that list was Gervonta Davis, making it obvious that Tank is Devin's top priority. By putting Tank first, Bill showed that Devin is not avoiding the challenge but actively pursuing it. The list was more than just a look at future opponents. It was a clear statement that Devin wants the fights fans have been debating for years, and if Tank is the biggest name available, Bill believes he should be the first one across the ring.
It's about 10. It's the first time in history a fighter that came out and put all the names on a list. I'm surprised that you don't know it. I know that I think Tank is at the top of it. Maybe Shakur is next. Jaron Ennis. I think Conor Benn might be on there towards the bottom. You know what I mean? Because he was at 68 with Eubank. Ryan Garcia is number 10. You know what I mean? Because we need to, he needs to get himself together.
Bill Haney explained that this fight is important not only for Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis, but for the entire sport of boxing and its fans. He believes it has the potential to become one of the biggest fights in the sport. Bill also made it clear that Devin's team is not trying to create unnecessary weight restrictions or include contract terms designed to weaken Tank or give Devin an unfair advantage, insisting that they simply want to make the fight happen on fair terms for both sides.
We thought that obviously the narrative was going to be able the narrative was going to continue to run that Devin was too big. I think that when they put together that fight with Jake Paul, and up until Jake Paul decided for the fight not to happen, that for all intent and purpose, Tank was going to fight a fighter that's bigger than 147 pounds. So, everybody, the fans and everybody, has talked about, Tank having other things to do and Devin needing to do other things. Well, ironically, right now, Debo doesn't have anybody on the table. Tank Davis doesn't have anybody on the table. And if the biggest and best fight that everybody been wanting to see can't happen, it won't be because of Team Haney. It's strictly because of Team Davis.
What's a realistic weight for that fight?
I believe that the fight can happen. I don't want to put any kind of weight restrictions on it. I don't want to put.
Bill Haney made it clear that if Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis does not happen, he does not want fans blaming Devin's team. According to Bill, Devin has made Tank his top priority. The opportunity is there, and the door is open for the fight to happen in 2026. From his perspective, if the matchup falls through, it will not be because Devin backed away, but because Tank's side chose not to complete the deal.
If it's Tank, I mean, who? Who else haven't gotten an offer publicly that they've received it? An offer from some big money, some people, a network saying that they want Debo in the ring with your favorite fighter. Tell me who hasn't gotten an offer. Tell me who's the bad motherfucker that y'all want to see who hasn't gotten an offer to fight Devin the Dream Haney.
Bill Haney's message was even more direct. Make the fight, agree to fair terms, and let both fighters settle everything in the ring. He knows fans are tired of seeing major boxing matches delayed by contract clauses, weight limits, and other details that often become excuses for why a fight never happens. That is why Bill is trying to eliminate those arguments from the start. According to him, Devin Haney wants to face Gervonta Davis without unnecessary restrictions or special conditions. His message is simple. Finalize the deal, sign the contract, and let the world find out who the better fighter really is.
I would leave that up to Devin and Tank, to be the two bosses that they are, you know what I mean, and make it happen. And you've pointed out, if you can tweet, then you can talk. You know what I'm saying? Right? If you can at somebody, then you can go in some DMs, you know what I mean? And you can make things happen and you can make them shake from a boss perspective and not hide behind, narratives like you really a worker. And we know that that's not the case on either one of them.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has started calling Devin Haney soft, adding even more intensity to their growing rivalry. Tank is no longer criticizing only Devin's boxing ability, but is now questioning his toughness, confidence, and how he would respond when the fight becomes difficult. While many see Devin as a fighter with size, movement, and high-level boxing skills, Tank is trying to shift the focus to mental strength and pressure. He wants fans to believe that once Devin is hit with clean shots, forced backward, or pushed into a tough battle, he will struggle to handle the moment. That is why Tank's comments feel so personal, because he is not just claiming he can beat Devin, he is arguing that Devin does not have the toughness to withstand what he brings inside the ring.
That's cool, but why you keep mentioning me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
How your son to do something like that? Because his son ain't really. His son ain't really like that. You know what I mean? That's why he got to do all the talk. He got to do all the woofing at the mouth. You know what I mean?
All right.
His son ain't soft ass nigga.
Okay. I like that.
Tank Davis was basically saying, "Stop trying to pressure me on social media because if this fight happens, I'll prove everything inside the ring." That response made the rivalry feel even more serious because he was no longer interested in explaining himself or debating every detail. Instead, he was warning Devin Haney that the talking, jokes, and online challenges would eventually have to end when they stand across from each other in the ring. From Tank's point of view, the real answer will not come through tweets or interviews but through what happens on Fight Nig.
And I make sure I prepare myself just as much or much harder than him.
He says it's not going past 2 rounds. What do you say?
That's a strong prediction. I feel as though 2 rounds. That's crazy. That's crazy. Rolly said the same thing. Rolly said the same thing. I don't know. I don't know what they think. He's saying it personally. I mean, he's saying it up close. He made a bet with Errol Spence and he lost that bet.
He did.
You know what I mean?
Gervonta Davis then took another shot at Devin Haney by calling him the email champ, using the nickname to question Devin's championship status and suggest that he was given his position instead of earning it the hard way. Tank was not just making a joke. He was challenging Devin's credibility, his reputation as a champion, and the way fans view his career. At this stage, the rivalry is no longer only about skill or signing a contract. Tank is also trying to paint Devin as a protected and unproven fighter before they ever meet in the ring.
Stan? Devin Haney. Quote, "It's funny how tables turn. Now I'm the undisputed champ, and this guy has a Mickey Mouse belt. He's never going to fight anybody. He's a clown. If he wants to fight, the fight can be made."
First of all, they emailed. They gave Devin a belt. They gave Devin a belt. He didn't fight for his belt. When he came undisputed, he waited till Kambosos won the belt for him to fight for the belt. You see, when Teofimo had the belt, they didn't fight. As quick as he fought with Kambosos, he could have fought with Teofimo. All of them on the same side. Of course, he have all them belts and people don't know him. Like he can't fight in his hometown without, you know what I mean, and can't set it out. So, I mean, it just jab at the champ. He know who's the real champ.
Tank Davis has made it clear that he genuinely believes he can defeat Devin Haney if they finally meet in the ring. In his view, Devin's height, reach, movement, and boxing IQ will not be enough once he starts cutting off the ring and landing clean punches. Tank believes Devin can be effective from the outside, but once the fight becomes physical, he will struggle to deal with the pressure and power. That is why Tank speaks with so much confidence. He is not just throwing insults at Devin. He is saying that if the fight happens, he expects to prove that Devin was never on the same level as him.
The Haney fight will happen.
If it get down to it, I'm definitely winning the fight. I'm winning the fight for sure.
Roy Jones Jr. then shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, saying it is the kind of matchup that could answer many questions about both fighters. He understands why fans are so excited because Devin brings size, reach, discipline, and excellent boxing IQ, while Tank has the kind of knockout power that can change a fight with a single punch. From Roy's perspective, this is much more than a social media rivalry. It is a meaningful clash between two elite fighters with very different strengths.
He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He's going to be a great fighter. He's just got to figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all 4 of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. Mm-hmm. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem. Once he learned that, or figures that out, he gonna be an
For Roy Jones Jr., the key for Devin Haney would be using his footwork, reach, and boxing IQ to stay in control without giving Gervonta Davis the opening he is looking for. For Tank, the challenge would be cutting off the ring, staying patient, and proving he can break down a skilled boxer over the course of the fight. That is what makes this matchup so exciting. It is a battle between control and explosive power, where a single mistake could completely change the outcome.
Davis. One of the best ones out there is what they don't know, gets less respect for it, but one of the best ones out there. Now his mouth a little different, you know what I'm saying? He's a different kind of character when it comes to the mouth. Yeah. Because that's where he's from. But he's really one of the pound the best ones of the coup. And I'm gonna tell you why he's the best one of the coup to me. He can punch, but he also can box. You understand me? Some that can box can't punch. Some that can punch can't box. He can box, he can punch, he can move laterally, he can do it left side, right side, he can do whatever he needs to do as a southpaw to get the job done. And that's saying a lot, because not many guys can do that.
Bill Haney is making a strong push for a Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis fight in 2026, and this time the talks feel more serious than ever. He has made it clear that Devin's team wants to move beyond the social media exchanges, interviews, insults, and online drama to finally make the fight happen. For years, fans have watched both fighters go back and forth without reaching an agreement, with disagreements over weight, money, contracts, rehydration clauses, who is the A side, and who has the most control. Now, Bill's focus is simple: stop talking and make the fight a reality. This matchup has captured fans' attention because it could finally settle one of boxing's biggest debates. Devin Haney brings size, discipline, reach, and a high-level boxing IQ that can frustrate opponents over 12 rounds, while Gervonta Davis brings devastating power, precise timing, patience, and the ability to change a fight with a single punch. That clash of styles is what makes this fight so exciting, as fans want to see whether Devin can stay disciplined and control the action from start to finish, or if Tank's power will be enough to end the fight with one decisive moment.
Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, Team Tank Davis. I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is Devin had bought me another Mercedes. Another one. The bad news is the Grinch didn't buy you guys one. But Debo is looking for him, and he's on the list. So let's see if 2026 you can't influence your man to be more like.
This is exactly the kind of fight boxing needs because it has the potential to settle two major debates at once. Can Devin Haney use his size, discipline, and ring IQ to control Gervonta Davis over 12 rounds, or will Tank's timing and knockout power eventually find the opening? That is what makes this matchup much bigger than the trash talk. It is no longer just about social media posts, call-outs, or personal rivalry. It is about two elite fighters finally stepping into the ring to prove who is truly the better man. With Bill Haney pushing for the fight in 2026, the pressure now falls on both teams. If the money is right, the terms are fair, and both fighters believe everything they have been saying, then this is a fight that belongs in the ring, not in the comments section. At this stage, fans are tired of the back and forth and want to see the matchup finally become a reality.
Bowl. And this pic that he put up and what he said in a caption, he's getting some backlash, some negative feedback here. The thing is, though, he didn't start it. He just finished it in a way that a lot of people don't appreciate and don't respect. But to be honest, Gervonta Tank Davis, when he started getting involved with all this, it started getting ugly. All the stuff that he's been saying, going back and forth with Shakur Stevenson, and then with Debo, implying that we can meet right now and shoot the fair one. And Debo coming with sense like, hey, brother, it's Father's. I'm chilling with my baby. It's like, man. But Shakur Stevenson and Debo going back and forth. You got Shakur Stevenson talking about, listen, you didn't do the scales check. What happened? Debo's like, hey, I don't have to do that. Agreeing to 144, that isn't enough. And Shakur's laugh like, yeah, because you know how big you are, Debo. Pause. And then you have Debo going after Gervonta, talking about how, you know, the only fade he's running is with women pretty much and all that shit, referring to what's going on with him outside of boxing, all those allegations. His father, Bill Haney, jumped into it and echoing these.